Hi, welcome to Savoury P. My name's Sue and I like experimenting with different flours and I like baking and cooking with buckwheat flour, and I've been trying to perfect the perfect buckwheat crepe with not too many ingredients. Buckwheat crepes are gluten-free and this recipe has no eggs and no dairy. So if you want to stick around and see my tips for making the perfect buckwheat crepe, come with me and let's see. So after many months of experimenting with so many buckwheat crepe recipes, I finally found the magic to making the perfect buckwheat crepe without eggs. So I'm going to use white buckwheat flour. It comes in two colours and I bought this by mistake, which is the dark black variety. And it's actually quite hard to cook with. I didn't like the texture or the taste. It becomes quite bitter. So if you stumble across the black variety, I wouldn't recommend it. Or if you do use it, you may need to add like another flour into it, like a corn flour or tapioca, just to lighten up the colour and texture. And my secret tip to making the perfect buckwheat crepes is I do 150 grams or 1 cup of buckwheat flour, and I do 2 cups of warm milk, and I'm using soya milk, so it's plant-based. I have experimented using coconut milk. I have coconut powder and I added warm water. That was really good, but I thought this variety was something that you could adapt at home. And because we're making them dairy-free and egg-free, when you take the egg out of a recipe, you need to give the recipe some fat or some structure to it. So what I found another secret tip was so tip number 2 is add a little bit of oil. So today I've got coconut oil, just 1 teaspoon. And I found a teaspoon of coconut oil goes a little bit further than adding like a tablespoon of olive oil. But if you've only got olive oil in the house or another favourite oil that you use that's quite neutral, you can pop that in. So with many gluten-free flours, they absorb a lot of water or liquid. So I recommend letting this sit for at least 10 to 15 minutes. And then we need to have another look at it and we may need to add a little bit more liquid. And in the meantime, I'm going to start heating up my non-stick fry pan. Today I'm going to do it on my hob in the background. I usually use my portable hob, but I've been having troubles getting the right consistency of heat. So I'm going to change the camera and pop it over to the back, and I'll heat up my fry pan behind on a medium to high heat. It's been 15 minutes, and just before I start cooking, I'm just going to check the thickness of this. I think that's too thick. It's better to have the pancakes, or the crepes rather, quite thin and crispy. So I'm going to add another 1/2 cup of milk, which is about 70 grams. The reason I quote grams is because the cup sizes are different all over the world. The cup size in the UK and Australia is different from what you get in America. And here in Sweden, they don't even do cups, they do DLs, deciliters. I think that's a better consistency, it's nice and runny. So I'm going to swap the camera and go to the stove top now. So my pan's nice and hot. So all I do is I grab about 1/2 cup of the mixture and I take that, my handle's a little bit hot, off the heat and pour it onto the pan, and then I swivel it around quite quickly. See, my pan's probably a bit too hot now. So this is what we call the test one, and I'll just drop that back a bit. The first side will cook for about 1 minute to 2 minutes, and then I wait till it's nice and golden and it will curve up on the edges, and then I flip it over and I just grab an extra tea towel to keep them warm. This is what they call the chef's one. The first one, when you do pancakes or crepes, often doesn't turn out. Might have flipped that one a little bit too early. So my crepe making is all finished, and check these out. I've made about 8 medium-sized crepes, and they're so light and flexible. When they're first cooked, they're nice and crispy, but if you wanted to reheat them, you can just pop them back on the pan, but best way is to eat them straight away. But what I'll do now, because I won't eat them now, I'm going to store these once they've cooled down in the fridge, and then we can have them for breakfast tomorrow, and I'll just reheat them slightly in the pan before we eat them. I haven't really tried storing them in the freezer because we always eat them just straight away, but you could probably store them in the freezer, but I'd probably individually wrap them like with a bit of baking paper between them. So I'll do some close-up photographs and pop them up above as usual. And let me know in the comments below what you think of this recipe. It's only got 3 ingredients, so simple, and I've given you 3 tips on how to make soft, pliable, delicious buckwheat crepes. We like them with sweet spreads, but you can also have them with savoury. You can put cheese in them and spinach, or you can have them like a wrap for lunch. And stick around, I'll pop some other buckwheat recipes up above. And don't forget, if you wanted to jump over to suemarieP.com, you can subscribe to my monthly newsletter. If you remember, you get a few more extra recipes. And don't forget to hit the like button and share it with a friend. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.